Gaur Gadadhar Prabhu, Ranvat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Welcome to the call, Prabhuji. And today we have our speaker now, so we can start the class. So today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Gadadhar Prabhu from Knoxville, Tennessee. And Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, 19th chapter, verse number 39 and onwards. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please take over the call now.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. And thank you, all the assembled devotees. Before we start with the Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll just have a quick Mangalacharan to invoke the blessings and mercy of the previous acharyas and the Lord. Um, Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Nama. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yutpat Kamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadbhutam Parijan Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapat Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshri Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalptaru Bhaischa Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Nama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. And the verses glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiriye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki shranvata swakata krishna पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तना हृदयंतो अस्तोय भद्राणि vidunoti suhat satam. Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who resides in everyone's heart as Supersoul, Paramatma, cleanses the desire from material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees who has dedicated life who has dedicated their life in serving the Supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. So, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 19, entitled Lord Vamandev Begs Charity from Bali Maharaj. So, just a little recap because we are towards the end of the chapter. So, here in this chapter, we saw that Vamandev, he asked for paces, three paces of land, as much land as he could cover in 3 steps, basically. Vamandev, who came as a small boy. And so, 3 paces of land in charity. Bali Maharaj uh, took he agreed to the proposal. He and But then Shukracharya, his familial guru, he tried to forbid Bali Maharaj to fulfill the promise, to fulfill the request. So here we see, in the up till now we have seen that Vaman Dev ji, he came to that to Bali Maharaj's Yagyashala, and he praised his family ancestors, Hiranyakashipu, Hirnaksha, and their heroic activities. Who no, no, they all are from the Bali Maharaj's demonic family, and he begged for three pieces of land, and Bali Maharaj agreed to. He took he agreed to give the land in charity, which he thought to be very insignificant, because for a small boy to measure three pieces of land, there won't be any much enough. There won't be any much land that a small child can cover. But then Shukracharya, as I said, no, he was trying to uh, induce Bali Maharaj to not fulfill his promise. And now we are in this section where he is trying to persuade Bali Maharaj that um, that he is trying to explain that in subduing others, or in joking, in danger, acting for while we are acting for the welfare, we can refuse to our fulfill our promise, and there is no fault with that. And he is trying to uh, dissuade or persuade Bali Maharaj to not fulfill the promise of giving three-step land to Vamandev, who came as a small Brahmin boy. So we are in this verse number 39, where we are, no, where Shukracharya is trying to dissuade Bali Maharaj to not fulfill the promise. So in this today's verse, we'll start with verse number 39, and we'll see what other arguments Shukracharya is giving now. So text number 39. Satyam pushpa phalam vidyad Atma vrakshashaya giyate rakshe ajivati tanna syad anratam moolam atmanaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: The Vedas enjoin that the factual result of the tree of the body is the good fruits and flowers derived from it. But if the bodily tree does not exist, there is no possibility of factual fruits and flowers. Even if the body is based on untruth, there cannot be factual fruits and flowers without the help of the bodily tree. Purport. This shloka explains that in relation to the material body, even the factual truth cannot exist without a touch of untruth. The Mayavadi says, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Quotes: The spiritual soul is truth and the external energy is untruth. Unquote. The Vaishnava philosophers, however, do not agree with the Mayavad philosophy. Even if, for the sake of argument, the material world is accepted as untruth, the living entity entangled in the illusory energy cannot come out of it without the help of the body. Without the help of the body, one cannot follow a system of religion, nor can one speculate on philosophical perfection. Therefore, the flower and fruit, pushp phalam, have to be obtained as a result of the body. Without the help of the body, that fruit cannot be gained. The Vaishnava philosophy therefore recommends Yukta Vairagya. It is not that all attention should be diverted for the maintenance of the body, but at the same time, one's bodily maintenance should not be neglected. As long as the body exists, one can thoroughly study the Vedic instructions, and thus at the end of life, one can achieve perfection. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejate ante kalevaram. Everything is examined at the time of death. Therefore, although the body is temporary and not eternal, one can take from it the best service and make one's life perfect. So, just a little. So, this is the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. So, it's a nice verse here where Shukracharya is speaking up. And so, Shukracharya, as I said, is trying to dissuade Bali Maharaj from fulfilling his promise of giving the land as promised to Vaman Devji. So here we see, so he's trying to give the fact, he's quoting that this tree of body, you know, and this that body is being compared with a tree. So the tree needs to be taken care of in order to derive the flowers and fruits from it. So similarly, this body has to be taken care of in order to derive the ultimate good out of it. Further, so here we see. So without, if the bodily tree is not there, if the tree itself is not there, if we cut out the tree, so then there will not be any fruits and flowers that can be offered to the Lord. So similarly, if the body is neglected, if the body is not taken care of, then the ultimate truth, ultimate perfection that is expected from the living entity cannot be achieved. So, and here we see, even though the body is been said to be untruth, it is temporary, but still it is important to derive the actual fruits and flowers that can be offered to the Lord and make the life perfect. So here we see Prabhupada very nicely begins with the Mayavad philosophy, where Mayavad says the supreme Brahman is truth, and the external energy Maya is untruth. Yeah. So Prabhupada ji says, like, no, the devotees or the Vaishnava philosophers don't agree with this. No, you know. So Prabhupada is saying, he is giving another argument here, that even if we accept the material nature or material world to be untruth, mithya, and the living entity uh, cannot come out of it without the help of this bodily machine, which is made out of the material elements. Yeah. So based on the Mayavad philosophy, they say the material energy is untrue, and the supreme Brahman, the supreme energy, is truth. No, so this body, which is made out of the five gross elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether, and three subtle elements. It's uh, our three subtle elements are basically mind, intelligence, and ego. So these eight elements constitute the material body. So since Mayavadis say the material energy is untrue, mithya, so the five gross elements and three subtle elements, which are all material elements, of which this body is made up of, is also untrue. No? So Prabhupada is making an argument that even if we accept this material body to be untrue, like the material world, because it is all the eight components, five gross and three subtle components of the body, they are made up of material energy, which is untrue. But at the same time, we need the help of this body to follow some system, to follow a religious process, and then come out of this entanglement of material world. So basically, this material body is a vehicle which is needed to come out of this material world. So we see sometimes, so therefore this material body has been allocated to us for a definite period of time. So, like, somebody has been allotted this body for 80 years. So for 80 years, the soul lives in that body, and after 80 years, the soul moves on to the next body, no, based on their karma. So, but we see sometimes people are so uh, in so much misery that they terminate this body before the allotted time. So they commit suicide, or they do all kind of nonsense, or they take the drugs and all that. So they kill the body before the allocated time. So if somebody has 80 years lifespan, and they kill the body early in 30 years itself, so for that 50 years he has to still wait for the next body. But for that 50 years, he will be, as Prabhupada explains elsewhere, our scriptures explain that for remainder of the time, he has to, the living entity has to still complete the term. So, but the living entity won't have a body. So he will just, so they won't have a gross body, but they will just have a subtle body made up of mind, intelligence, and ego. So that is basically we have the ghost body. No, ghosts are the ones where we don't have the gross body, but they just have the subtle body. So they have desires and all, but they are not able to fulfill those desires because they don't have a gross body. So this gross body is very important, and so that's why sometimes the ghost try to take over the body of for some time they may want to take up the body of some weak minded person, persons who are into all kind of hallucinations like drugs, and and so they may trying to take their body for some time, but that cannot hold on. No, in every body there is one allocated spirit soul who has been allocated that body. So we see this body is very very important. Because without the help of this body, we cannot achieve the ultimate fruit, which is going back home, back to Godhead. Yeah. So Prabhupada says, no, the Vaishnava philosophy is Yukt Vairagya. Yukt Vairagya means we are using everything in service of the Lord. No, that is called Yukt Vairagya. So that's why we need to give attention towards the bodily maintenance. But at the same time, all the attention should not just go to the maintenance of the body. Like Prabhupada gives this example of elsewhere in his lectures, where he gives the example of a motor car. So motor car is important for us to go from point A to point B, to travel from point A to point B. So we need maintenance of the vehicle, like oil change and whatever. No, so but at the same time, we should not be just giving our 100% attention to the vehicle. No, and so the motor car is needed for purpose, but then that no, with that purpose we do some maintenance that is needed to keep the motor car together. So likewise we need to have the bodily necessities taken care of, taking prasadam on the right at the right time, taking the right regulated diet, taking which is prasadam, food that is offered to the Lord as prasadam. And that prasadam also has to be regulated, and it has to be regulated at a proper time. Then at the same time it needs some rest. It needs some recreation, so which is all there in the process of Krishna consciousness. So the motor car needs that maintenance, but at the same time it cannot just be given all 100% attention, right? So we need to give attention to the body to meet the bodily needs. They should not be neglected, but at the same time our goal should not be missed. The higher goal is where we need to use this body, we need to use this bodily vehicle to go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this body. Yeah. So we need to understand, like no, this body is temporary. That is the Vaishnava understanding. But at the same time, we can use it for the best service to make our life perfect. So Yukt Vairagya is that concept where we are utilizing everything in the service of the Lord. So this body has to be used in the service of the Lord and not for any sense gratification. No, and then that is the uh, true usage of this bodily vehicle. Yeah. So with that, we move on to the next verse, number 40. So verse number 40. Tad yatha vriksha unmulaha shusyati udvartate achirat evam nastan evam nastra nas nashtan rata sada sadya atma shusyena samshaya. Translation and Prabhupada and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: when a tree is uprooted, it immediately falls down and begins to dry up. Similarly, if one doesn't take care of the body, which is supposed to be untruth, in other words, if the untruth is uprooted, the body undoubtedly becomes dry. Purport: in this regard, Sri Rup Goswami says, Prapanchikatya buddhaya Hari sambandhi vastunaha mumukshubhi parityago vairagyam falgu kathyate. Quotes: one who rejects things without knowledge of the relationship with to Krishna is incomplete in his renunciation. Unquote. Bhakti Rasamat Sindhu 1 to 66. When the body is engaged in service of the Lord, one should not consider the body material. Sometimes the spiritual body of the spiritual master is misunderstood. But Srila Rup Goswami instructs, Prapanchi Kataya Buddhaya Hari Sambandhi Vastunaha. The body fully engaged in Krishna's service should not be neglected as material. One who does neglect it as it is false in his renunciation. If the body is not properly maintained, it falls down and dries up like an uprooted tree, from which flowers and fruit can no longer be obtained. The Vedas therefore enjoin Om iti satyam neti anartam tad itam pushpam phalam vacho yat satyam Saheshwaro Yashvas Yash Yashasvi Kalyana Kirtir Bhavita Pushpam hi Phalam Vacha Satyam Vadati Athitan Moolam Vacho Yad Anartam Yad Yatho Vriksha Avirmula Shushyati Sa udvartata evam evan mritam vadan avirmulam atmanam karoti sa sushyati sa udvarte tasmad anartam na vadet dayeta tav etena. The purport is that activities performed with the help of the body for the satisfaction of the absolute truth, Om Tat Sat, are never temporary, although performed by the temporary body. Indeed, such activities are everlasting. Therefore, the body should be properly cared for. Because the body is temporary, not permanent, one cannot expose the body to being devoured by a tiger or killed by an enemy. All precautions should be taken to protect the body. So, in this verse, number 40, uh, Shukracharya is continuing to explain to Bali Maharaj. In the previous verse, number 39, he was talking about the importance of the bodily tree, which needs to be taken care of. Now, in this analogy, he's saying, like when it is not taken care of. So when this bodily tree is not taken care of, so when tree is not taken care of, and it is uprooted, uh, so it will fall down and eventually it will dry up. So similarly, this body, even though it is untruth, it is mithya, it is temporary, but at the same time, if it is not taken care of, it will also fall and eventually dry up. Means dry up means it will have no usage whatsoever. No? So like a motor car, if we are not taking care of the motor car, because it has a utility for going from point A to point B. But if you don't take care of the maintenance of the motor car, then it is just a piece of junk, you know, because it will not move. Then there is no purpose to have a motor car. No. Uh, so we dispose of those things, right? So, Prabhupada is quoting here in the purport from Bhakti Rasamas Sindhu that for people uh, who are rejecting things without their understanding the relationship of things with the Supreme Lord Krishna, so their renunciation is not complete. That means, so everything should be linked, everything should be connected with Krishna. And if it is favorable in the service, we should use it. If it is not, cannot be utilized in the service of the Lord, it should be rejected. But just rejecting anything and thinking it to be material, without understanding its relationship with the Lord, yeah, so that means our renunciation of those material things is not complete. Our understanding of renunciation is not complete. So here we see, it's the other aspect. In the previous verse, it was said we need to take care of this bodily tree. But in this verse, he is talking about the negative. But if the material body tree is not taken care of, then it will be like a tree, it will fall down and then it will dry up. And when the tree dries up, there will not be any fruits or flowers that can be obtained from it. Yeah. So that in the other sense, this body has to be taken care of. So Shukracharya is giving this philosophy just to persuade Bali Maharaj to go back on his promise, right? Because he's saying that you need to sustain yourself. You need to, before giving this charity, you need to think about your own self, no, your own body, your own relatives, your own kula. No, so that was his understanding. But Prabhupada is making a nice analogy here for our understanding, where we need to understand that, like here, Shukracharya is talking about philosophy to take care of oneself. But here, Prabhupada is diverting that philosophy in a true sense to make sure that, that this body has a utility in serving the Lord. So that's why, because it has connectivity with the Lord, it has purpose, which it can deliver us of going back home, back to Godhead. So for that needs, we need to take care of this body. Yeah. So no, if the body, even though it is mithya, it is temporary, but we cannot just be negligent in this case. Yeah. So Prabhupada in his letters also, he used to tell the same message to his disciples, that this body needs to be taken care of. We need to take risk for Krishna, but the risk should not be to the extent that we cannot manage it. eh. We should take the risk to the point where we can manage it. eh. Where it does not, we should take the risk to the point where it does not hamper our Krishna consciousness, our service to the Lord. So here, Prabhupada is saying in the purpose that we cannot just allow the body to be devoured by a tiger or killed by the enemy. We need to take all the measures to protect the body. So that is the ultimate. So ultimate goal, is Basically, the goal is to protect the body with ultimate goal in the mind, that this body is a vehicle for us to go back home, back to Godhead. And this vehicle is necessary for us to serve the Lord and thereby pave our home, by pave our way back home, back to Godhead. Yeah. So these two verses were going together. So I covered them with 39 and 40. And we know, like, for another few verses, Shukracharya will be trying to speak some philosophy, but then Prabhupada will be using that philosophy where Shukracharya was giving this philosophy to take care of oneself. But then Prabhupada is saying we need to take care of ourselves for in order to serve the Lord, where, in order to serve the absolute truth and pave our journey back home, back to Godhead. So I open up the forum for any questions or any points that devotees will like to add on these verses that we covered, verse number 39 and verse number 40 today. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for this next class and explaining this verse, the two verses so nicely. So Prabhuji, sometimes like I had my close friend, Marathi friend, and her son, very young son, 22-year-old boy. Everything was so nice in his family. He did suicide. So what is the reason Prabhuji they does like this?
So, Mata, you are talking about suicide for that, about that
Yeah,
thing?
like you was telling, like this
Yeah,
body
yeah.
will be settled because that his death was not
Yeah.
decided that time, but he did because of, yeah, I don't know what, how
Yeah.
does it happens.
Yeah, Mata, it's little, yeah, sorry to know hear about that. It's very, very unfortunate
Or
situation. Yeah.
one like follow-up question is his death was decided like that, or uh,
No, yeah, yeah, Mata, like the thing is, like, definitely, like in on our path, actually, we always have our decisions, no? Our decisions are there, no? So definitely, based on our decisions that on our on our journey that we take, we pave our way to go in one direction or the other, right? So definitely, there are some incidents, like, where we say, like, okay, like in our horoscope, where it says, like, like, at this point of the life you will be having difficult time. So when we get that in those situations, in those difficult times, if we are fortunate, no or our fortunate is basically the devotees. So when somehow, like Prabhupada said, actually, like, no, devotees told Prabhupada, like, no, what was that, like, no, like, no, we were not looking for Krishna consciousness, how come we all know? So Prabhupada said, like, no, uh, I made the good fortune for you. Yeah. So the true devotees, they make good fortune for the masses, by distributing books, prashadam, kirtan, right? So that's why these events are very, very important. So somehow the other, there is always our turning points in our life. But by the devotees' mercy, by the mercy of the Lord, if we make the right decision in those turning points in our life, in those life quakes that we all have to face in our life, no, that is a turning point, no. So if that devotee touch is not there, we will make wrong decisions and that will go in a different direction. But if we devotees come in our life, no, somehow or the other, they will make a good fortune. Yeah. So in my own life, they were like, no, devotees mercy was there. Otherwise, they were, life quakes were so severe that there was no possibility of, us surviving through them. Yeah. So in this case, as you were saying, Mataji, so it was unfortunate they did not had the chance, right? But at the same time, sometimes, our karmas, they are more heavier on us, the previous karmas, that we have to go through the punishment, we have to go through the reformation. So sometimes, so that's why we are not able to take on that mercy also. So in this case, when we cut short our life, so that body is not there, gross body is lost. So for that particular interval, which is the remainder time that living entity has to spend with the with the subtle body, the gross body is gone. So with the subtle body, they try to repent, because they're not able to, they have the desires, but they cannot enjoy them, because the gross body is not there to full to be able to fulfill those desires. Yeah. So it's painful, and but at the same time it is devotees uh, you know responsibility, or Krishna is giving them the opportunity to touch as many hearts as possible, so that people can be saved from that wrong decision, and they can come out of those life quakes, and they turn them for an opportunity. They become an opportunity in their lives, so that they can come towards Krishna, uh, and they learn lessons from them. So no, that's the ultimate goal. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this answer. And yes, we try to invite them for home programs and classes, Bhagavad Gita classes. But for one time, they just came, he and his parents. His parents were following some other guru, and but the boy was not so spiritual. He was very scholar, but yeah, sometimes the new generation they don't believe God and like that. So
yeah,
that's happening. We try, but they don't accept it. Probably.
yeah. And the karmas, actually, Mataji. No, it's more that, like, no, the karma comes in the way. No, we have so much distractions. Maya Devi is like, no, she has her ways. No, so the new generation, like, no, definitely in the school, colleges,
Hmm.
they may get degrees and all, but no one is being taught how to navigate the life.
Yes.
No, how to understand. Like, no, we may get degree, we may make a lot of money, but how to use that money, the money itself becomes the cause of our no our death, right? We get into so much bad addictions. No, in today's world we see all these drugs and all, suicide, the suicides, shooting, you
Hmm.
know pre marital pregnancies, so
Hmm.
all these things, 50 years ago no one has even thought about those things,
Yeah.
which is the reality today. And it is all because of lack of spiritual science,
Yes.
propagating in the name of religion. So many religious
Hmm.
processes are going on. There are churches, mosques, or even temples are there, but other than Prabhupada's centers or Prabhupada books, no one is there in true sense which is helping the living entity, right? So that's the sad part, no?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we need to make an attempt, actually, on we need to become a instrument of the Lord and save as many people as possible from this situation, like horrific situation in the material world. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for that question. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's very painful to see this happening like this.
Yeah.
So I open the forum to all the devotees. If you have any question, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this class and for explaining these verses so nicely. Prabhu, following up on Mataji's question, I was just thinking, like, since I've heard about this, like, we all have free will. Is it okay to understand it with that thing on our mind that we all have free will? We had free will right from the moment we decided to leave Krishna's place and come down to this material world. And even here, we have free will. Although we have set amount of time that is assigned in a certain body, if we execute our free will in just destroying that body, we still have to live as a ghost to continue that, to exhaust that time that we were allotted to be here. Is it okay to understand that this is because of the free will that we that was misused?
Yeah, yeah. You, yeah, Mother, very nice. You last in the last you said by yourself. You gave the answer. Free will has been misused, right? So, like, if the thing is like Mataji, like, no, if someone is addicted to smoking or drinking, right? So it's not a free will anymore, right? So, like, no, in the beginning, a person takes a drink. Then, second stage is the drink takes a drink, and the last is the drink takes the person, right? So basically, so person like no we start person who is he takes like just for fun, no, and then he becomes like no drink takes the drink. Basically he is like kind of like it becomes a natural process, no, and then eventually the drink consumes the person. So likewise, this free will, if it is misused, it will not be free will anymore. No, it will be forced. You will be dragged in that direction, like people who are into drugs, who get pulled into drugs, the young kids and all, they go there for fun, but then eventually, they lose everything. Yeah. So likewise, so this free will, if we talk about the free will in true sense, that free will is only in company of Krishna or his devotees, right? Where we give an option, where no you come or not, right? You listen to Bhagavatam or not. But that kind of free will is not there. Maya doesn't give that free will, no. So the two purposes that Maya Devi or material energy has, she has the covering aspect, and then she has the kicking thing, no? She will kick us, we will feel the pain, but then she will cover up, right? So in the true sense, if we say, yeah, we have the free will, we had the free will in the spiritual world, that's why we left Krishna. But material energy does not give us the free will. Yeah. So if we want to exercise our free will, we have to be in company of Krishna and his devotees. No other association or company will give us exercise our free will. No, our boss will not give us free will. No, we have to do certain tasks. We have to be on time. But the free will is only when we have spiritual program. No, we will be late to the spiritual events. No, but we cannot be late in any official meeting. No, so in a true will, but at the same time we should not be misusing it, right? So we should understand that our all loving father, eternal father Krishna, has given us true free will. We should be grateful for that. We should have gratitude for that, and with that gratitude comes love, true love for the Lord. And when we reciprocate with that love towards the Lord, then will Lord we will achieve further reciprocation from the Lord. No, and in that we grow and we come out of this, where our free will, no, is to the point where whatever Krishna does for us is our becomes our will. No, so free thing is gone, and our will is basically Krishna's desire. And our eternal father cannot desire anything which will be harmful for us. Yeah, Mataji. So, like, yeah, so free will is exercised in association with Krishna only. And when we are exercising that free will, in that reciprocation, we will get to the point where no, the Krishna's desire becomes our will, and no, then there is no difference, and then we can truly exercise our free will and become, and become one of the loving associates of the Lord. Yeah, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam.
And thank you, Mataji, for the nice question. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this very, informative class regarding Maya and the Lord. Do you mind elaborating a little bit about, like you said, about Maya? Like she first gives a kick and then covers it up, if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah, and definitely, like no, definitely, like Prabhupada gives that information in every verse. Like no, he talks about these things in today's verses. Also, he was talking about how the material energy. So when devotees ask Prabhupada, what, like no, what is Maya or what is illusion, right? So like no, and like so one of these gurus actually, once one disciple asked him what is illusion. So he went to the courtyard where there was a tree, and he was holding the tree. No, he was holding the tree tight, and he said, "Leave me, leave me, leave me." No, so the thing is, Maya or this illusion is something which is no, when we turn our back to Krishna, right? So Prabhupada was been asked the same question: what is illusion or Maya? So Prabhupada says, when we turn our back towards from Krishna, when we turn our back to Krishna, then we are in Maya. Maya means something that is temporary, which is not eternal. Yeah. So here we see the material energy, but when we turn our face towards Krishna, it's the same energy which basically serves in the spiritual world in the service of the Lord, but the same energy in the material world takes us away from Krishna. Yeah. So like the same electrical energy can be used for cooling, and and all these analogies are given by Prabhupada. I'm just repeating them. So the same electrical energy is used for cooling, and same electrical energy can used for heating, right? So same energy of the Lord acts in the spiritual world in service of the Lord, taking the living entities towards Krishna. But in the material world, the same same energy takes us away from Krishna, like which gives us an illusion that something that is that we can enjoy our lives separate from Krishna. Yeah. But at the same time, she gives us teaching, a lesson, a kick, right? Every time we get a kick, now we try to understand, oh, what was that? No, but then she also has the covering aspect. But so we need to remove that covering with this transcendental knowledge, as Prabhupada says, the sword of transcendental knowledge. We have to remove that covering, then we can understand the kicks. And this material energy is like the role of a jailer, right? So that punishment is given so that we can reform our mindset that separate from Krishna, we cannot enjoy this material world. No, so her role is a role of a jailer in prison house. No, so she's doing her job nicely, but then that covering aspect, covers us up again. We think, okay, no, 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 it was no. We keep trying the same thing over and over in different ways, but at the same time, we have to remove that covering of material energy. Then we can understand the true picture, right? So then we will try to make an effort to come out of this material nature, and this body will become that vehicle which will help us in that direction. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very nice
Yeah.
explanation and
Yeah.
very logical. Thank you, Prabhuji.
and
Hare
and
Krishna.
nothing, Mataji. It is all given by Prabhupada, in his purpose and all. Little bit whatever we read, you know, out of like hundred things we read, like we remember two three things. So, but we keep reading, repeating, so that way we can. And as Prabhupada was saying in today's purport, the real test will be at the time of death. How much we will remember this and no remember Krishna. Yeah,
Yes, Prabhuji.
yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, like you said, that we should take care of our body because to, meet the ultimate goal, we have to use this body. But also the fact that we have the Lord in our body. So, one another reason to take care of the body, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lord is, and when we are serving the Lord, this body becomes transcendental. No, we can see like the work amount of work Prabhupada did is in his old age. No one can do in his young age. No, Prabhupada disciples, they were all in their 20s. They felt like Prabhupada was much younger than them
Yes.
because it was he was using it for the service of the Lord. So the Lord gave him that energy to serve
Yes.
him, right? So that the body becomes transcendental. So it is a place of it's a temple which we can use for serving the Lord. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think we can wrap up the call today. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु भैवच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
अनंत कोटि
Thank you.
वैष्णव की जय, नमस्ते
Thank
जय
वैष्णव
yeah.
की जय,
Anand,
जय
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 Hare
वैष्णव
Krishna, everyone.
की
Thank you very
जय,
much.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी
और गदाधर प्रभु की
की
जय।
All,
जय
all the
थैंक यू
devotees
प्रभु
ki,
जी
all the
जय
devotees ki
Jai.
jai. Thank
जय
you.
and
Hare
please
Krishna.
come more often Prabhuji.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Thank you.
हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.